Hey. Good morning. This is KQKC Boxing Channel. A newly decorative channel coming to you with a new video. As I mentioned, as always, if I hear it, you're going to hear it. If I research it, I'm going to tell the truth. There's a very unbiased sentiment about my channel. I try to keep my channel respectable, and it is open arms to negative and positive comments and responses, because everyone, I believe, has a voice. It's called freedom of speech. So therefore, let's get down to the meat and potatoes. As you notice, Errol Spence had made a comment on his verified Twitter account, which you're welcome to go to it and read it. And he said, quote and unquote, that Al Haymon is a blessing in this dirty ass boxing game. Now, what prompted him to say that, either it was some type of negotiation, or he sees other promoters doing things that Al Haymon doesn't do. Now, we all can say what we want about Al Haymon. I mean, we can call him this, we can call him that, but one thing we can't not call him is a promoter like Eddie Hearn. He cares about his fighters. He really do. He's not like Eddie Hearn, where, let's say, Luis Ortiz lost maybe a fight or two, whatever, or wasn't doing well. He let him go. But soon a super fight came with him and Deontay Wilder, and he looked pretty good. He's offering him another contract. And Ortiz should say, well, you know what? He can say in English or Spanish, fuck you. You know why? Because Al Haymon knows what a fighter wants and what a fighter needs. Now, technically, Al Haymon is not a promoter. He's an advisor. Sometimes he works in a promoter capacity. But another thing that Errol Spence loved about Team Haymon, that's his name and nickname that he called. As you know, when Dante Boxing Nation did an interview with him, he said, hey, when you're driving off, hey, Team Haymon all the way. So I guarantee you, Mr. Hearn, he won't be at DAZN. I don't care how much money you offer him. Same with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia said, hey, look, check this out, Eddie. Talk to Al. That's all I got to say. Straight to the point. See, Al Haymon, he's not in front of the cameras. He's not doing radio shows. Only a few people actually have a conversation with him. Sam Watson and Floyd Mayweather. And I assume Errol Spence, of course. And Andre Berto. You know, he has a circle of very limited people. And I guarantee you, these people are in high places and have deep pockets. See, Al Haymon, he's the type of advisor slash sometimes promoter. He gives you a second chance. Sometimes a third chance. Look how Sean Porter lost his IBF belt to Kell Brook, which Errol Spence ended up taking. Now listen at this. Two different types of roads was taken through Al Haymon. So Al Haymon don't lie to his fighters. Look, Sean, this gonna be hard, but you can do it. You can climb your way back up. If you do that, you got yourself a second chance. And guess what? Sean has been doing that. He been fighting eliminators. He had a fight with Keith Thurman, Adrian Granados. I mean, he is staying active through Al Haymon. Al Haymon is a great guy. Same with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather looked at Al Haymon as a second father. Why? How you think Floyd Mayweather is a billionaire? Now, I'm not saying the man dumb or nothing like that, but he had got some good advice. Not only from Al Haymon, but from Al Haymon people. You know, he assigned a team to talk to Floyd. Tell him where to put the money at. Where the gross amount of this money would go. How the interest would go here. You know, how much to put in escrow. I mean, Floyd turned his status of a millionaire into a billionaire. Now, we as black men that came from nothing, from the bottom up, we tend to sometimes, you know, get things that we necessarily don't need, but we got the money to spend to get it. Just like the watch with Floyd. But, you know, he had the money, he'd buy it. He retired his mother. He retired his father. Of course, he was in his corner. And he retired his uncle, Uncle Roger. You know, God bless him. He's ill right now. And, I mean, that's all due because of Al Haymon. Now, Errol Spence was picked up by Al Haymon. And everything Al Haymon told Errol Spence, this is quote unquote, has came true. Just keep on winning, young buck. You're going to have your chance. You're going to have your chance sooner than later. Trust me. And Earl trusted him. Earl kept winning, stepping up, winning, stepping up, winning, stepping up, winning. Next thing you know, he had a championship fight with Kell Brooks to win the IBF championship that used to be Sean Porter. Sean Porter and Kenny Porter was there in London and Bronwell Lane, if that's how you say it. And Earl did his thing, and he became champion. That was due all because of Al Haymon. He could easily say, no, you know what? Get a couple more fights under your belt. You know, to make sure you exactly is ready. No, Al Haymon said, you ready now. Only time I seen Al Haymon, and I seen him with Floyd Mayweather, that was in the dressing room when he was waiting to come out to fight Shane Mosley. Because he had the circus, he had the Temptations up there. I mean, then Al Haymon was the one that put his arms around Floyd and say, hey, look, you know, blase, blase. I don't know what they were talking about, but that was Al. Al Haymon and Floyd Mayweather are besties. Okay? And that is the truth. See, if I would compare Al Haymon to Edward HEARN, you can see the total difference. Al Haymon cares about his fighters. He cares about his fighters getting the right type of money and the right type of purse and the right type of back-end money. Yes, Eddie Hearn wouldn't do that. Sure, he will set up a fight for you to fight, as long as it makes sense and make money. See, Eddie Hearn whole focus on is the money thing. That's why they didn't want to fight Deontay Wilder, because he know Anthony Joshua get knocked out, that money train is gone. I mean, it's just gone. But with Al Haymon, if that would have happened, he would have said, hey, that's all right, you're going to bounce back, and hey, don't let it sweat you. I understand it's your first loss. Take a little time off, and don't worry, get back in the gym, and you can be right back on top sooner than later. So then you have Sean Porter. Sean Porter lost the IBF championship. Okay, that's fine. A lot of people think, oh, he washed up, he this, he that. No, he's not. And no, he wasn't. Why? Because Al Haymon did what he said he was going to do. Everything Al Haymon has said would come true, came true. And the things that didn't come true wasn't his fault. I mean, sure, you have the governing bodies. You know, of course they have the last word or whatever. He ain't took over no governing bodies. They don't play that shit. But he has great influence. At Showtime, they even partnered up. PBC, I can remember a few years back. Oh, that's a bad idea. Free TV for boxers? But you have to understand, look at the stable of boxers he had. Eddie Hearn going around bragging about he got champions, which are B-level champions. But Al Haymon has the real champions. The champions that with O's. Those type of champions. You had champions where there are no one out there at that time that could beat them. And I know we had a great year thus far. Especially we can end with a bang. And I'm talking about PBC, Showtime, Showtime and Stream. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about no ESPN app. I ain't talking about no DAZN app. You know, it's just another way to get money from boxers. That's all. But Al Haymon said, you know what? Hey, you got cable? Man, you can get this. That's right. It's called Bounce. It's called Fox Sports 1. You know, he started expanding, but left up to Oscar De La Hoya. He figured he was monopolizing the boxing community. No, he is not. He can't make a fighter sign for him. He's not dangling his legs out the window and say, hey, are you going to sign this or whatever? He ain't Suge Knight. Fighters gravitate to Al Haymon because he knows how to treat fighters. And like Errol said, especially in this dirty business called boxing. And sometimes it can get dirty. Right, Eddie? Lies are being told in negotiations. Lies are being told on fights that are going to do great. Are you listening, Eddie? Al Haymon is a good dude. And you know what? This is the thing that really, really made me say, man, I like this dude. I don't care what nobody say. He's not standing in the ring behind the fighter that won the championship. He's not standing there right by him to say a few words. You know, Frank Warren does it, Eddie Hearn does it, but he doesn't do that. I mean, even though he's not a promoter, but he works in a promoter atmosphere, a promoter role. So, but no, he's nowhere to be found, because he believes if a fighter works hard, very hard at what they do, especially if they're disciplined, and he trusts who they choose to be their coach. And you know what? He leave it as that. He steps back in his shell. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to Boxing Eagle, because he made a good analogy. He's more like Kaiser Sosa. You know? And what I hear, a lot of people don't even know how he sounds. But I can tell you this. You ever watch The Lion King? You ever watch how Mustafa, who was killed by his brother Scar, you ever listen how Mustafa talks, which was James Earl Jones, but they say Al Haymon talks just like that. Yes. Hey, what's going on? This is Al. You know, he has that deep voice, that Barry White type shit. You know. And I'm proud to say I'm a proud American and I'm a proud boxing fan when I have an advisor that represents fighters that I like and they are shining. What I don't like is people being jealous of a black man, a Harvard University graduate, a advisor to a lot of music moguls like Drake, Earth, Wind and Fire, and many more with Jay-Z and Beyonce. So, he has talent all around, but you're not going to see it and you're not going to hear it, because he's that type of a person. He made a life for him and his family, a private life. So, therefore, I had just to bring you that notification and that Twitter page of Errol Spence verified account. I'm saying how Al Haymon is a blessing. Now, are you listening? A blessing. Anytime a man can say another man is a blessing, that means that man is doing something 101% right. You can sue him all day long, but he hasn't and will not do anything to jeopardize his brand. And I guarantee you, when it's all said and done, he might come out in front of the media, and that'll be his last dealings with boxers and, songwriters. But I can't see it stopping no way soon, because we got up and coming fighters, and he just signed a couple of fighters from the UK. So therefore, Eddie Hearn, you couldn't even carry Al Haymon bags, because if I was Al Haymon, which I'm definitely not, I would have a seminar and make sure Eddie Hearn ass is there and show him the do's and don'ts of a promoter / advisor. Because remember, he played that promoter role too sometimes. He had told the greatest fighter in my era, Floyd George Mayweather, after you fight Conor McGregor, I think, and you think in the back of your mind, you just don't want to say it, I don't want you to fight anymore. I'm not going to support any of your fights anymore. Enough is enough. And you know what Floyd did? He took his advice. Floyd haven't fought nobody since McGregor, and he ain't talking about fighting nobody. That little shit with Adrian Broner, whatever, the shit, that's just bullshit. And he showed Floyd Mayweather how to put all the shenanigans behind him. Talk like a man, talk professionally. You don't have to curse, because like I always say, in my family also, a man curses because they cannot find the words to say what they want. That's called lack of vocabulary. So, in closing, Al Haymon is a blessing to boxing. A lot of companies have came and went. You can take that two different ways, but the truth is the truth. What PBC is not hemorrhaging money. They're not broke. They even partner up with Showtime. So, like they always say, kiss my grits. So, therefore, I'm KQ, KC Boxing Channel. If you like this video, please hit the notification bell, and I will promise you, you will get a notification each and every time I upload a video. Sure, I only have 48 subscribers now, but that's okay, because I know one day I will reach that pinnacle of 100, then maybe 300, then maybe 500. Because, see, people, you need to understand this. I'm not doing this just because I love boxing. And that's one of the reasons. But this is a way that I can help out my Cancer Society brothers and sisters. As I mentioned once before, I had 10 uncles out of 13. And I want to say my father. So I guess, it was 14 brothers. 10 died of cancer. 10 died of cancer. Throat, stomach, colon, liver. You name it. Even an auntie on the same side died of breast cancer after they removed two of her breasts. I'm not doing this just for my health. I might not have much. I might be new. I'm in the later part of my 4th month. But I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. And if you like what I'm saying, please hit or pimp slap that like button. See, YouTube has a rule that I can't have a super chat till I have so many subscribers. So, therefore, all I ask is just pray. And I'm going to need your support and help with this Cancer Society. everybody's getting rich off of trying to find a cure for cancer, when evidently it has been science shown out there that there is a cure. Not in this country, but it is a cure. And we need to help our brothers and sisters out with chemotherapy and certain operations. We men, a lot of men don't like to have colonoscopies. A lot of men don't like to have their prostate examined. But we have to keep our body clean and pure. And that's my cause. I want to help out. I want to donate to the Cancer Society. That's what I want to do. So, therefore, I just had to just put that in because a lot of people might get confused. So, well, hey, he there just because he like boxing and, you know, he got a good video, this and that. But it's a cause behind everything. If you go to other channels, they doing it because they need gym shoes for a basketball team, or they need their son basketball team. Well, I'm sorry, this is not sports. This is life. And let me reiterate that. This is life and death. So, never know. Your contribution might save someone's life. Or you can take a stroll on the cancer floor and see the little babies with the shaved heads. Seeing little babies with HIV of no fault of their own. So, with that, this is KQ, KC Boxing Channel, and I do need your subscription. And I will see you on the next video. And all I have to say is peace and love.